You don't mess with them. It's just simple. So
Shabbat Shalom, everyone, and good Shabbos.
Shabbat
Shabbat
shalom.
Shalom.
It is, I don't know what it wants to do out there tonight here in Huntington. It wants to rain and then it rains, but then as it's raining, the sun is out. So I have no idea, but we are here. Looks like it's going to be a pretty nice evening. I don't know the rest of the weekend. Rain?
It's supposed to be beautiful.
Supposed to be beautiful. All right. Well, it is the unofficial start of summer this weekend, Memorial Day weekend. And so used to be a big weekend in theaters, movie theaters. This is when the blockbusters started to come out. Now you just wait until they're streaming or on Amazon Prime. All right, we are here for Shabbat, and looks like we got Judy again for. We'll have Judy Benchlick. There's no problems there.
No, I've been doing it a lot.
There you go. She's got it down. The reading is on page 3 and the blessing on page 2.
O source of light and truth, creator of the eternal law of goodness, help us to find knowledge by which to live. Lead us to take the words we shall speak into our hearts and our lives. Bless all who enter this sanctuary in need, all who bring the offerings of their hearts. May our worship lead us to acts of kindness, peace, and love. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kedeshanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu l'had l'pnei shel Shabbat.
Oh man, thank you, Judy. All right, let's continue. Let's have a reading a responsive reading in English on page 9. Page 9. There are days when we seek things for ourselves and measure failure by what we do not gain.
We seek not to acquire, but to share.
There are days when we exploit nature as if it were a horn of plenty that can never be exhausted.
On Shabbat we stand in wonder before the mystery of creation.
There are days when we act as if we care nothing for the rights of others.
On Shabbat, we
Remember that justice is our duty and a better world our goal.
So we embrace Shabbat, day of rest, day of wonder, day of peace. All right, top of page 20. Page 20, Lecha Dodi. Just around this time, the Kabbalists, the mystics of Sfat, would go out into the fields in the hills of the Galil and start getting ready to welcome Shabbat. And they would do so dressed all in white. And they would sing songs and they would sing psalms as well. This is where we get our idea for Kabbalat Shabbat. And one of the songs that they brought to us from Shlomo Halevi Alkabetz, one of the great mystics out of the city of Sfat, was Lecha Dodi. Let's see. Lecha Dodi likrat kala yalalai 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 b'nei Shabbat nekabelah. Lecha Dodi likrat kala yalalai 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 b'nei Shabbat nekabelah. Shamor v'zachor v'dibor echad Yishmi'anu el hamiuchad Adonai echad u'shmo echad L'shem hu tiferet ve'litila Lecha Dodi likrat kala yalalai 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 b'nei Shabbat nekabelah. Lecha Dodi likrat kala yalalai 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 b'nei Shabbat nekabelah. לקראת שבת לכו בנחה, כי מקור הברכה, מראש מקדם נסוכה, סוף מעשה במחשבה תחילה, לך דודי לקראת כלה, יללה יללה יללה, פני שבת נקבלה, לך דודי לקראת כלה, יללה יללה יללה, פני שבת נקבלה. מקדש מלך עיר מלוכה, kumitzi. I lost it now.
Yeah.
I lost it. Let's go back. Lecha dodi likrat kala yelala 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 b'nei Shabbat nekavela. Lecha dodi likrat kala yelala 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 b'nei Shabbat nekavela. Mikdash melech ir melucha, kumitzei betoch afecha, Rav lakshevet beimecha bacha, vehu yachamol alayichem la. Lecha dodi likrat kala yelala yelala yelala, pnei Shabbat nekavela. Lecha dodi likrat kala yelala yelala yelala, pnei Shabbat nekavela. Nahari me'afar kumi, lifshi bidei tifartechami, al yad ben Yishai beit halachmi, korva el nafshi nafshi ge'ala. Lecha dodi likrat kala yelala yelala yelala, pnei Shabbat nekavela. Lecha dodi likrat kala yelala yelala yelala, pnei Shabbat nekavela. Hitori, kiva orei kumi uri, uri, shir daberi, kivod Adonai alayich nigla. Lecha dodi likrat kala yelala yelala yelala, pnei Shabbat nekavela. Lecha dodi likrat kala yelala yelala yelala, pnei Shabbat nekavela. Lo teheboshi velo tikolmi, ma tishtochachi hu ma tehevi, v'hach yachasu aniyei ami, v'nivneta ir al tila. Lecha dodi likrat kala yelala yelala yelala, pnei Shabbat nekavela. Lecha dodi likrat kala yelala yelala yelala, pnei Shabbat nekavela. V'hayu l'shimsa shosayich, v'rachaku kol bevalayich, yasis alayich Elohayich, kimsos chatan al kala. Lecha dodi likrat kala yelala yelala yelala, pnei Shabbat nekavela. Lecha dodi likrat kala yelala yelala yelala, pnei Shabbat nekavela. Yamin u'smol titrotzi, v'et Adonai taritzi, al yadish ben partzi, v'nismecha v'nagila. Lecha Dodi Likrat Kala Yadalai 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 B'nei Shabbat Nekabila Lecha Dodi Likrat Kala Yadalai 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 B'nei Shabbat Nekabila Boi b'shalom ateret bala Gam b'simcha u'sola Toch emunei hamsegula Boi chala, boi chala Lecha dodi likrat kala Yalalai, yalalai, yalalai B'nei Shabbat nekabila Lecha dodi likrat kala Yalalai, yalalai, yalalai B'nei Shabbat nekabila. It's still there. You know, the Hasidic tunes, they always get you going. Let's turn to page 22 and read from Psalm 92, the Psalm for Shabbat. Let's read the top outdented paragraph together in English. A psalm, a song for Shabbat. It is good to praise Adonai, to sing hymns to your name, O Most High, to proclaim your steadfast love at daybreak, your faithfulness each night. With a 10-stringed harp, with voice and lyre together, you have gladdened me by your deeds, Adonai. I shout for joy at your handiwork. How great are your works, Adonai. How very subtle your designs. A brute cannot know, the fool cannot understand this. Tzaddik katamah yifrach, Erez balvanon yiskeh shetuli bebeit Adonai bechatzrot Eloheinu yafrihu. O Jinuvun Beseva Deshenim Berachananim Yihiyu Lechagi Ki Ashar Adonai Tzori Below And page 24, let's welcome the angels who come to visit us on Shabbat, the two angels that come with everything that's doubled on Shabbat. Two angels, two souls, two loaves of challah. It's all good on Shabbat. Page 24 at the top, Shalom Aleichem. Shalom Aleichem, Malachei HaShari, Malachei Elyon. Melech Malachei Amlachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Boachem l'shalom, Malachei HaShalom, Malachei Elyon. Melech Malachei Amlachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Baruch l'shalom, Malachei HaShalom, Malachei Elyon. Melech Malachei Amlachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Seifem l'shalom, Malachei HaShalom, Malachei Elyon. Melech Malachei Amlachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu. All right, we have completed Kabbalah. Kahalat Shabbat. We're going to begin the evening service, page 146, Baruch Hu. Baruch Hu et Adonai HaMevorach. Baruch Adonai HaMevorach Le'olam Va'ed. Let's read together on page 147, the 3 paragraphs in English. Adonai, your majesty is proclaimed by the marvels of earth and sky. Sun, moon, and stars testify to your power and wisdom. Day follows day in endless succession, and the years vanish, but your sovereignty endures. Though all things pass, let not your glory depart from us. Help us to become co-workers with you, and endow our fleeting days with abiding worth. Baruch atah Adonai HaMa'ariv Aravim. Page 148. Ahavat Olam Beit Yisrael Amcha Ahavta Torah u'mitzvot Ukim u'mishpatim Otanu limadeta Al Kein Adonai Eloheinu V'shofteinu u'vkumeinu Nasiach bechukecha V'nismach b'divrei Toratecha U'b'mitzvotecha Le'olam va'ed Ki heim chayenu v'yorech yameinu Ubehem nege yomam v'layla Ve'ahavat echal tasir mimenu le'olamim Baruch atah Adonai Ohev amo Yisrael Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad. V'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha v'chol levacha u'v'chol nafshecha u'v'chol me'otecha v'hayu advarim ha'ele asher Anochi mitzavecha Hayom alvavecha Vishinantam levanecha V'dibarta bam V'shivtecha v'veitecha Uvlektecha v'derech Uv'shochtecha uvkunecha Ukshartam le'ohot al yadecha V'hayu letotafot B'neinecha Uchtaftam Al mezuzah beitecha u'visharecha Leman tizkeruhu va'asitem et kol mitzvotai v'tem kedoshim le'elohechem Ani Adonai Elohechem Asher hotzeiti etchem me'eretz Mitzrayim V'yot lachem Elohim Ani Adonai Elohechem. Middle of page 151. Let's read responsibly. We worship the power that unites the universe, a promise of harmony for all.
Yet that oneness eludes our grasp as imperfection and evil abound.
Before our eyes, there's a vision of perfection, order, and goodness.
There is evil enough to break the heart, and there is good enough to exalt the soul.
When will redemption come?
When we grant everyone what we claim for ourselves.
Long ago, we escaped the tyranny of Egypt. Our people saw the power of the Most High.
We learned that God's presence creates time and event. So we celebrate this power that makes for freedom.
Top of 152. Mi chamocha ba'elim Adonai. Mi chamocha nedar b'kodesh. Nohorati lo sefer. Malchutecha ra'u banecha. Mokeyam lifnei Moshe. Zeli anu v'amru. Adonai yimloch le'olam va'ed. V'nemar kifad Adonai Yaakov u'ga'alo mi'ad chazak mimenu. Baruch atah Adonai Ga'al Yisrael. Last bracha after the Shema, Hashkivenu, top of page 153. Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu l'shalom v'ha'amidenu shomreinu l'chaim. Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu l'shalom v'ha'amidenu shomreinu l'chaim. Let's read together in the English. Give us a place to rest, O God. Shelter us in the long, soft evening shadows of your truth. You are true protection and safety. In your presence we find love and acceptance. Watch over us as we go forth. Prepare for us as we return. Spread over us shelter of peace, over all we love, over all in Jerusalem and yours. Baruch atah Adonai, aporei sukat shalom aleinu, ve'al kol amo Yisrael, ve'al Yerushalayim. Top 154 at the top, verses from the book of Exodus, V'shamru. V'shamru v'nei Yisrael, et ha-shabbat, La'asot et ha-shabbat ledorotam berith olam. V'shamru v'nei Yisrael et ha-shabbat. La'asot et ha-shabbat ledorotam berith olam. Beini uvein b'nei Yisrael, oti li'olam. V'shamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-shabbat. La'asot et ha-shabbat ledorotam berith olam. Sheshet yamim asa Adonai et hashamayim v'et haaretz v'shamru b'nei Yisrael et hashabbat. La'asot et hashabbat ledorotam berith olam. Uvayom hashvi'i Shabbat vayinafash, Shabbat vayinafash, Shabbat vayinafash. V'shamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-shabbat. La'asot et ha-shabbat ledorotam berith olam. All right, we are at the central prayer for the evening service, the Amidah. We'll chant 155, 156, and 157 together, and then we'll go silently as you can complete the Amidah on your own, either finishing it in the Hebrew, reading English translations, or offering up your own prayer during this time. We'll begin together 158. Adonai sifatai tikach
Ufiagiti lazecha, Adonai sirkatai tika, Ufiagiti lazecha. Adonai, open up my lips, that my mouth may declare your praise. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu, Elohei Avoteinu v'Imotzeinu, Elohei Abraham, Elohei Yitzchak, Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, Elohei Leah, Ha'el Hagadol, Ha'gibor, Ha'norah, El Elyon, Gomer Chasadim Tovim, Vekonei HaKol, Vezocher Hasei Avot V'imahot, Umevi Goel Lifnei B'neihem, Mat Shemo B'Yahava, Melech Ozer Moshiach Umagi, Baruch Atah Adonai, Magid Avraham, V'Ezrat Sarah, Agibor Adonai, V'chaye Meitim Atarav L'Hoshia, Mashiach Ruach U'Morid Hatal, Mechakel Chaim B'Chesed, Mechaye Meitim B'Rachamim Rabim, Somech Noflim B'Rofek Cholim, Umatir Asurim, Umekahayev Emunato, Lishenei Afar, Michamocha, Pagihurot, Umidol Melech, Melech Mimi, Umechahayev, Umatzmiach Yeshua, Nemanata Lachayot Meitim, Baruch atah Adonai, Mechayeh HaMeitim.
Still completing your Amidah, please continue at your own pace. We're going to jump ahead to page 160, and let's read together in English, middle of 160. May these hours of rest and renewal open our hearts to joy, our minds to truth. May all who struggle find rest on this day. May all who suffer find solace. May all who hurt find healing on this day. May all who despair find purpose. May all who hunger find fulfillment on this day. And may we all live in such a way that this day fulfill its promise. Baruch atah Adonai, Mekadesh HaShabbat. Page 163, let's read responsively at the top a little bit of Hoda'ah, a little bit of thanksgiving. For the good in us, which calls us to a better life, we give thanks.
For the strength to improve the world with our hearts and our hands, we offer praise.
For the desire in us, which leads us to work for peace, we are grateful.
For life in nature, harmony and beauty, we are humble to honor. All praise to the source of being.
We'll turn to 164 and we'll close out the Amidah with Shalom Rav. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Hamcha Tasim Le'olam. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Hamcha Tasim Le'olam. Ki atahu melech adon lechol hashalom. Ki atahu melech adon lechol hashalom. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Hamcha Tasim Le'olam. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Hamcha Tasim Le'olam. V'tov beinecha levarech et Amcha Yisrael b'chol עת ובכל שעה בשלומך. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Hamcha Tasim Le'olam. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Hamcha Tasim Le'olam. Tasim Le'olam. Tasim Le'olam. Praise to you, Adonai, who blesses your people Israel with peace. Baruch atah Adonai, hamevarech et amo Yisrael b'shalom. We jump ahead to page 253 in the Misha Berach. If you have people who you know need a little bit of extra healing this Shabbat, please keep them in your thoughts, close to your heart, as we get ready for Misha Berach. Misha Berach Avoteinu Mekor HaBracha Leimoteinu. May the source of strength who bless the ones before us help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say, Amen. Mishe Berach Imoteinu Mekor HaBracha La'avoteinu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shlema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say, Amen. All right, pages 258 and 259, prayers for our community. Marilyn, would you lead us in the prayer for our congregation, top of 258?
Source of all being, may the children of this community learn these passions from us.
love of Torah, devotion in prayer, and support of the needy. May we guide with integrity, and may our leadership be in your service. May those who teach and nourish us be blessed with satisfaction, and may we appreciate their time and devotion. Bless us with the fruits of wisdom and understanding, and may our efforts bring fulfillment and joy.
Baruch atah Adonai, shotecha levatcha v'yirah la'avod. David, prayer for our country.
O guardian of life and liberty, may our nation always merit your protection. Teach us to give thanks for what we have by sharing with those who are in need. Keep our eyes open to the wonders of creation and alert to the care of the earth. May we never be lazy in the work of peace. May we honor those who have died in defense of our ideals. Grant our leaders wisdom and forbearance. May they govern with justice and compassion. Help us all to appreciate one another and respect the many ways that we may serve you. May our homes be safe from affliction and strife, and our country be sound in body and spirit. And let us say amen.
Amen. Shalu Shalom Yerushalayim, Yishlayu Olavayich. Pray for the peace of Jerusalem. May those who love you prosper. Avinu Shabashamayim, Sur Yisrael V'Golo, Barech et Medinat Yisrael, Reishit Smichat Gulateinu. Hagen Aleha, Yevrat Chasdecha, Ufos Aleha Sukat Shlomecha, Ushlach Orcha V'Amitcha L'Rosheha, Soreha V'Yoetzeha. V'Takneim Be'etza Tova Milfanecha. V'Natata Shalom Ba'aretz, V'Simchat Olam Liyoshneha, V'Nomar Amen. Lord, please.
O Heavenly One, Protector and Redeemer of Israel, bless the state of Israel, which marks the dawning of hope for all who seek peace. Shield it beneath the wings of your love. Spread over it the canopy of your peace. Send your light and truth to all who lead and advise, guiding them with your good counsel. Establish peace in the land and fullness of joy for all who dwell there. Amen.
Amen. Thank you for those who read. Shabbat Shalom, everyone. Good Shabbos. This week, it's the last parsha of the book of Vayikra. Right? We're putting away the book of Vayikra for another year, the book of Leviticus, and it's Parshat Bechukotai. And what sets this parsha, aside from many of the other ones in the Torah, is that it's filled with God's promises, right? Follow my laws and observe my mitzvot, and you will have peace and security and abundant crops. But if you do what you want, if you don't heed my words, misery, suffering, and ruin. Right? And this is the epilogue to the Holiness Code, which makes up the large part of the book. And there are two major principles that come out in this week's parsha. One is that of free will. We can choose to do the right thing. We can choose to do the wrong thing, but it's our choice. And then our ancestors called it reward and punishment, but I call it consequences. Right? If you do the right thing, the consequences should be good. If you don't do the right thing, well, the consequences will be less than good. And this part of the Torah is also called the Tochacha, which is the rebuke, meaning that Israel is going to be rebuked for their behavior. Now, this has not yet happened, but this is the kind of thing that will happen when you do something wrong. You get called out on it. And this is the part of the Torah where Israel gets called out. And one of the most unsettling pieces of this week's portion is that there are more verses dedicated to the Tochacha, to the rebuke of Israel, than to the blessings. But that's okay, because it's quality, not quantity, right? The quality of the brachot outweigh much more the curses or the bad consequences. We just have to want them. We have to want to do the right thing. No matter how you slice this parsha, though, the idea of blessings and curses, it holds on to the biblical idea of God as a punisher. And it doesn't hold water now for many of us, but our behavior does matter. Whether or not we think it's God punishing us, consequences follow every action. Our every action has consequences. And the Torah is meant as a guidebook to help us make the right decisions on how to live well. And we ignore this advice at our own peril. Free will separates us from the animals. We have choices. Choices that impact not only us, but others. And the consequences of our choices, the consequences of our actions are either our reward or our punishment. What are the consequences? What are the consequences of our choices? Well, they are going to be what we, the consequences are going to be the results of our choices. And hopefully, according to the Torah, we will make the right choices and we won't have the punishments. And the book of Exodus, the book of Leviticus ends right about there. And so we finish out the book of Leviticus with 12 more mitzvot, 7 positive, 5 negative, and for a total of 12. So speaking of consequences, in the book of Leviticus and in several other parts of the Torah, we get this strange command. Umizaracha lo titain la'avir l'molach, velo tichalel et shem Elohecha ani Adonai. Do not allow any of your offspring to be offered up to Molech, and do not profane the name of your God. I am Adonai. Seems like we are offering up our children to Moloch. This is a god of the ancient Middle East that demanded child sacrifice for the well-being of the adults. We don't call him Moloch anymore. We don't worship at his altars, but there is a god called Moloch, and that god is represented in our culture by guns. And the temple of this particular god is the Second Amendment. And the priests of this god run the gun lobbies. What happened this week in Texas did not have to happen. 19 children, ages 10 and younger. 10 have socks older than those kids. And 2 teachers were the latest sacrifices to Moloch. All week I listened to the pundits. At one point there were over 50 suggestions on what we have to do to protect our guns. Right? Because that's what it all boiled down to. Right? 50 suggestions ranging from more security at the schools, armed guards at every school. We need to arm the teachers. And one piece of lasagna, who I'm not even going to mention his name, said we should arm the students as well. That's it. More guns in the schools. More mental health discussions, because God forbid there be there shouldn't be blame to go around to everything, right? More mental health discussions, because sane people don't do this kind of stuff. It's the same old. Since the year 2000, there have been 364 school shootings in this country. More than any other country in the world, more than all of the other countries in the world combined. And I'm not talking the shootings that go on in theaters or malls or parking lots or supermarkets. I'm talking about schools, the place where our children should feel safe. When I went to school, I was worried that the 6th grader would pick on me. My parents never thought they were sending me off and would never see me again. 364 times it's happened in this country in the last 22 years. In 2018, the governor of Texas, the same governor, had a press conference after there were 10 dead students following the shooting at the Santa Fe High School in Texas. And he said that he was going to take action to step up to make sure this tragedy is never recorded ever again in the history of the state of Texas. 2018, it's 2022. Last year, he signed 7, count them, 7 laws to expand gun rights in Texas. And he declared Texas will always be the leader in defending the Second Amendment, which is why we built a barrier around gun rights this session. Thank God, because there are so many guns out there crying right now over the loss of their family members. We allowed this to happen. We keep putting these same people in office who refuse to do anything except offer our children up to Moloch. It's the same old. What do all the school shootings have in common? Guns. It's not the same kind of person that does the shooting, not the same age group, not the same ethnicity, not the same background. It is guns. Do we love our guns more than we love our children? There are more guns in this country than there are people. Imagine that. Imagine living in a country where there are more guns than actual human beings. There's no easy answer to the problem. There's not. It's not just get rid of the guns, because you can't just get rid of the guns. And you can't turn our schools into prisons, although there are plenty of lobbyists out there waiting to start putting in what one guy said, a man trap, a special door you walk through with a tripwire, that if you are the wrong person, you trip over the wire and it locks you in there until they come to get you. Ted Cruz said, limit the amount of doors in a school. There should just be one door in and out. But we send our thoughts and prayers. That's not what we need. We need action. Because at this point, God's not listening to our thoughts and prayers. Check the book of Isaiah, 1st chapter. We see it in a Haftarah, where God says, your prayers are empty because you have blood on your hands. 364 school shootings. And the elected officials who keep getting elected refuse to do anything. You see, this is why we have government. This is where the government should come in. This is where the government should act. But no. We love our guns more than we love our children. And our elected officials love the money they get from the gun lobby more than they love children. Must we remain in thrall to Moloch and his priesthood, the NRA? Children shouldn't fear going to school. Parents shouldn't worry that they'll never see their children again when they leave them at the front door of the school. And we as human beings should not allow this to continue. The rabbis teach us that the only reason the world exists Ein ha'olam mitkayem ella bishvil havel tinokot shel Beit Rabban. The only reason the world exists is because of the breath of school children. Do we love our children enough to keep them alive? Shabbat Shalom and good Shabbos. Maury, time is it?
Kadoosh.
Kiddush time. Maury's with us this week. He's paying attention. It's Kiddush time. Vayher vahivoker yom hashishi. Vayechulu hashamayim v'haaretz v'chol tzivam. Vayachal Elohim vayom hashvi'i melachto asher asa. Vayishbot vayom hashvi'i mikol melachto asher asa. Vayevarech Elohim et yom hashvi'i. Vayikadesh oto, ki bo Shabbat mikol melachto asher bara Elohim la'asod. Sabri, Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech olam, borei peri hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech olam, asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'ratzevanu. B'Shabbat kodsho, b'ahava uvratzon, infilahanu, zikaron lema'aseh v'reishit, ki hu yom techila l'mikra'ei kodesh, zecher l'tziat mitzrayim, kivanu b'charta, Ve'otanu kidashta mikol ha'amim v'shabbat kodshecha v'ahava uvratzon hinchaltanu. Baruch atah Adonai mekadesh HaShabbat. We are still in the midst of the counting of the Omer. And let's see. Where are you, Omer?
Let's see. 35?
Pardon?
Is it 30?
I don't know. I got it in my book. And yesterday was the 41st day of the counting of the Omer, right? So we are getting very, very close to Shavuot, which is next Saturday night. Next Saturday night. Here we are. Hineni mukhan, just go with the bracha. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech olam, asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu al sfirat ha'omer. Hayom shnayim v'arba'im yom shehem shisha shavuot la'omer. Today is the 42nd day of the counting of the Omer, making exactly 6 weeks of the Omer. All right, we'll get ready to close out our service, page 282. Aleinu.
Aleinu l'shabeach l'adon hakol, l'ateit gdula liotzer breshit, shelo asanu k'goyei haratzot, v'lo samanu k'mishpachot ha'adama. Shelo Sam Chelkeinu Kahem, V'gor Aleinu Kechol HaOlam. V'anachnu korim, U'mishtachadim U'modim, Livnei Melech, Malchei HaMlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Shehu Notei Shamayim V'Yoser Haaretz, U'Moshe Yikaro B'Shamayim V'Ba'al, U'Shechina Tuzo, Begohei Meromi, Hu Eloheinu Einod, Epes Malkeinu Epes Ulato, Kakashu B'Torato, Ve'adata Hayom Ve'ashivota, Elem HaMecha. Ki Adonai hu Elohim, Vashamayim mimahal, V'al haaretz, V'tachat Eino. ככתוב בתורתך, מנין לו לעולם ועד, ונאמר, והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ, ביום ההוא, יהיה אדוני אחד, Ushemo Echad.
This week, we observe the following yahrzeits. Morris Edelson, Evelyn Wiles' father, Rose Elderman, Jack's wife, Ann Cohen's mother, Leonard E. Hartz, Ruby's husband, father of Mari and William, Samuel Abraham Kaplan, Pauline's grandfather, Gerald Amberdy, Judy Lundy's brother, Pearl Botnick, Jan Chertow's mother, David Ginsburg, relative of Jonathan Ginsburg, Lily Kwiatkowski, Rena Stern's aunt, Mary Cantor's sister, Max Muffson, Mari's father, Charles Poland, Chuck's father, Reuben Comet, and Anna's husband, Sidney Comet's father, Simon Fetter, Goldie's husband, father of Larry, Marjorie, and Carol Ann, Isidore Jaffe, Ray's husband, Lillian's father, Charles Simons, Minnie's husband, Bob's father, William L. Hart, son of Leonard and Ruby, Mari's brother, Leila M. Jacobs Kuntz, Morris's wife, mother of Richard and Linda, Dr. Lincoln M. Poland, one of Lake the First's sons, Carol Solov, Jason's grandmother, Philip Hirsch, Janice's husband, Susie Brodoff, and Cheryl Hirsch's father, Terry Ratto, Steve's wife, Judy Woodruff's sister-in-law. May their souls be bound up in the bond of life eternal. May their memories be a blessing to us always, and may they all rest in peace. Mourner's Kaddish, page 294. Yitkadal, Yitkadash, Shemei Rabbah, Be'alma, Divrach, Irutei, Yamlik, Malchutei, V'chayechon, V'yomechon, V'chayei, T'chol Beit Yisrael, Ba'agala, Bizman, Kariv, V'imru, Amen. Yehei, Shmei, Rabbah, V'orach, Le'olam, Olamei Maya. Yitvarach, V'yishtach, V'yitpa'ar, V'yitromam, V'yitnaseh. V'yithadar, V'yithaleh, V'yithalal, Shmei, V'kudsha, V'richu. Le'elam, Yinkol, V'yirchata, V'shirata. Tushbachata, V'nechemata. V'amiram, V'alma, V'imru, Amen. Yehei, Shloma, Rava, Min Shmaya.
Chaim Aleinu, Yalkol Yisrael, Yimru, Amen. Oseh Shalom Yiramav, Yaseh Shalom, Aleinu, Yalkol Yisrael, Yimru, Amen.
All right, friends, Shabbat Shalom and good Shabbos. Tonight at sunset, as we move into the 27th day of the second month, that is the 27th of Iyar, we celebrate Rainbow Day, which is the day that Noah and the animals lift the ark and receive the rainbow covenant. Rainbow Day is always on the 42nd day of the Omer, the day after Yom Yerushalayim. After God destroyed the world, God established a covenant with us, promising not to destroy the world out of anger, and that we have the responsibility to take care of the earth and all that is in it. Rainbow Day is a time to celebrate diversity of life on earth and to remember our role in God's covenant. It's a time to remember that the very first covenant was not with human beings alone, but with all living things. And it gives us a chance to reflect on the deep spiritual and religious meaning of diversity, creation, and our role as part of creation and partners with God. It's a special time in human civilization when we need to reflect on the Rainbow Covenant and our place in sustaining the world. So Rainbow Day starts tonight. All right, service is tomorrow morning at 10 o'clock. I almost said 9 o'clock. Wouldn't that be something? 10 o'clock tomorrow morning, and then Sunday morning at 9 o'clock. Let's see. No adult ed on Sunday, and no adult ed on Monday. It's Memorial Day. And let's see, there'll be Yiddish choir on Wednesday. And then next Friday night, it's the first Shabbos of June, and June is Pride Month. And so every Friday night, we are going to have speakers come in and talk, people from the community who are active not only in the gay and lesbian, bisexual, and trans world, but also in the larger Huntington community in general. And so we have people lined up, and so that's going to be next Friday night. We're also going to be in the big sanctuary, and we're going to have the choir, hopefully, Judy says hopefully, and hopefully an oneg afterwards. So do come out and support our synagogue and learn something new. I'm sure that you'll learn something new these coming weeks. And
Monday at
Memorial Day
11
service at the
o'clock.
Arch on Monday.
everybody has to talk. Everybody wants to say the same thing.
Okay.
David, go
Go
ahead.
ahead, Judy.
Now nobody wants to talk.
Memorial Day service at the Arch at 11 o'clock at annual service.
Memorial Day service at the Arch at 11 o'clock on Monday. Rain or shine?
Yes.
Rain or shine. There you go. That's Monday, Memorial Day.
Pray for sun.
Pray for sun. I thought you said pray for rain.
No,
No.
it,
Nope, not.
that was
I misheard.
bad. That
I
was
misheard.
bad. Yeah.
I misheard.
90 degrees.
Pray for sun.
Thank you.
All right. So Monday at 11 at the Memorial Arch to honor our fallen soldiers. All right. We'll close out this Shabbat evening service on page 321. Adon Olam.
Adon Olam Asher Malach B'terem Kol Yitzir Nivra Le'et Nasa B'hefzo Kol Azai Melech Shemo Nivra V'acharei Kiklot HaKol Levado Yimloch Nora Vehu Haya Vehu Hobeh Vehu Yeh V'tifara Vehu Echad V'ein Sheni Lahamshil Lo Lahachbira V'li Reishit V'li Tachlit V'lo Ha'oz V'ham Yisra Vehu Eli V'chai Goali V'tzur Hebli P'yeh Tzara Vehu Nisi Uman Nosli Benat Kosi Biomekra, Diahado Apidruhi, Dieti Shan Diahira, Bimruhi Giviati, Adonai Li Velohira. All right, friends, it looks like we have people saying hello to us through the interwebs. And let's see, we have Mark Rosen, Shabbat Shalom, y'all. God bless the children. Yes, Mark, God bless them indeed. But not only should God bless them, we need to protect them. Melanie Samuels, good Shabbos, and please keep praying for those poor innocent children and their two teachers. Yes, praying is nice, but we've got to do something. Susie Brodoff, thank you so much for meaningful sermon. Can we as a congregation do something to show our thoughts to our politicians? Yeah, vote them out of office. But there are other ways, and prayers are not enough. Exactly, Susie, you are right. All right, friends. Everybody have a good Shabbos, a Shabbat Shalom. Enjoy the beautiful weather. Be careful out there, and we'll see you soon.
Good.